Hi, I recently did a video about converting miniatures towards the more Grimdark style. It's actually quite a common theme here, but the one I'm referring to is the Grimdark Conversions 101, where I talked a bit more about the general process as well. And I built up quite an extensive bit box by, compared to how long time I've been back to the hobby, which is just like 2 years or something. And despite that, I see a pattern. When I try to do the more Grimdark conversions, I tend to go back to the same 3 boxes over and over to get bits. And I want to talk a bit about these boxes, because I think they constitute a very solid foundation for anyone who wants to, try to dip their toe into this part of the hobby. So I thought I will go through them one by one and talk a bit about when I tend to use bits from this box and why. And yeah, I will obviously show some miniatures along the way as well. So let's do that. Skulls. Let's start with the skulls, because they are pretty much what you expect. It's a box of skulls. 340 of them to be exact, and they come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and I think they really nailed it here. The composition is like really awesome. They are high quality skulls, and you get a lot of the regular human ones. You get some more of the regular human ones, and you get some funny ones like I think these are demons or something. You got a bunch of alien skulls and funny looking ones. And you got a sprue with large ones, like one-offs. And I think the composition here is really, really nice. You get most of what you mostly need. And how do I tend to use them? Well, we obviously got the thing I did with in a previous video. I swapped the heads of some guys, and suddenly you got skeletons. Actually, I used the skeleton arm here, second-hand purchase as well, but it's pretty easy, you just swap the head and you got a skeleton. But in the majority of cases, you will be using it pretty much like this. This is a quite regular knight. I just sprinkled on some little extra details like these horns that are intentionally, not even. And parchment here, and up top here I switched I think it was some sort of eagle up there, and I just switched it for a bird skull. And that's the sort of thing you mainly use the skulls for. You just sprinkle them in here and there. It's never wrong. A skull is never wrong if you try to do something a bit more dark. If uncertain, when in doubt, put a skull on there. And if it doesn't help, put another one up there. Like this guy up here. There was some sort of uneven things here when this was actually also a second-hand purchase. It was missing some bits, and well, obviously, and so I got them for cheap, and I just covered up these weird things with skulls, because skulls are never wrong, pretty much. I suppose you can do it in some stupid way, but usually they're never wrong. So this is how you use the skulls. Just sprinkle them in wherever you feel like. Next up we have the Ghouls. Ghouls. However you pronounce it, I can't, because I'm not a native English speaker. This is a nice box. This is probably the one I use the least. It's kind of funny, I bought it secondhand. It says in Swedish, giveaway, they are impossible to build. Apparently they are. But I've had great use for this box. It's mainly one use I have, and that is as arms. As twisted human arms. Like this one. And this is actually also a ghoul arm with a little bone up there. It's really useful there. And the same as this guy. He appeared in my last video as well. It really looks like he's blessing someone, but I don't think the ghoul box contains anyone blessing anyone. But this is the main usage of these ones. You can tell they really blend in, but they look they look a bit off, like someone who's not having a good day. But then from time to time I also use the bodies themselves. I don't think I've ever built like a proper ghoul. I suppose these are. But this guy's got a zombie head, and this got a Bretonnian helmet on there. But otherwise, this is pretty much a ghoul, like, I suppose. And these are some sort of arrow carrier guys. I haven't painted yet. Obviously kind of kit bashed, but... So the bodies can also be very useful for, you know, servants, and this is sort of not very well paid guys. I think they're perfect for that as well. But the main purpose, or the main usage of this box so far, I've found that it is the arms. They fit humans, but they look, you know, unnatural, undead, unpleasant. Last, but certainly not least, we got the Empire Flagellants, which are hidden in some sort of generic box here, but it's an excellent kit. Just looking at the sprue, we can tell that, yeah, they got all kinds of bits. If the skull box is great for skulls, obviously, and the ghoul box is great for the arms, mainly, this box got a bit of everything. It got, you know, wonky heads, stitch up mouths, and just, you know, ravaged guys, and the odd weapons like the flail thing up here, and you got a little bit of everything, you know. You got a bit of chain, and you got some parchment here, and you got a bit of some books down here, and a book strapped on a board. Because, as stated before, you know, I really like this one, because if you ask the question, you know, why would anyone want to do this? You're pretty much, you know, you're on the right track, you know. And this is a great great set of sprues for this kind of stuff, you know. These things, why would anyone have this rope around his neck? Well, who can tell? These guys are pretty insane. They look pretty insane, and the bodies are, yeah, they don't really mind their own, you know, neatness, if that's a word. And the staffs here, you're supposed to put these skites on there, but yeah, you can use them for pretty much everything. And the last sprue here, I think we got a bit more, yeah, we got more wonky heads, you know, like this guy who has a rope in his mouth. This guy is strapped onto some wooden thing here, this sort of punishment thing. He ran away, and we obviously got the guy with the sort of burning head. Bit of, you know, scrolls with skulls, and yeah, it's really got a bit of everything. Bunch of trinkets, little skulls, and then, yeah, bells and whatnot. So let's see some examples. We'll start out with these guys. If we can get some focus, please. Whoops. There we go. These are just, you know, some treasure hunters from the Imbar, and then just regular Empire troopers. Perhaps the gun is from somewhere else, but just regular Empire troopers completed with a flagellant head, and they immediately look a bit more rough and untamed. So just simple, just as with the skulls, you just swap the head, and you got a totally different guy. Not totally different, but quite different. Same thing here. Please, come on. There we go, thank you. Got a regular, I think this is some sort of Frostgrave guy. Frostgrave. And you got a Bretonnian shield, and you got a, I think, Dark Elf banner, and you got this really nice sort of cage helm. It looks better in reality. The lighting is not really good there, but it really looks insane. And as stated before, you know, if you ask the question, why would anyone want to wear this? You're on the right track. Another example, just a regular Bretonian musician, except that you got a skull here, a head, who is blind, I think, and he's not looking the right way. It looks like he's actually listening rather than blowing his horn. And yeah, it pretty much makes this guy, I think. So head swaps are definitely something. But the main usage, just as the skulls, is just, you know, to put bits all over the place. This is not from this box, and it's not from the skeleton, the skulls box either. This is from sort of skeleton sprue, the same as I used in this other video, where I bought some second-hand skeletons. Used this the same way as the skulls though. But the thing I want to point out here is that just put, you know, some of these chains, just put them on here, and it looks like, yeah, no, I don't know, it looks more Grimdark because we got chains. And also up top here we got a head that looks like he's not really eager to be up there. And I don't think anyone would like to be there. But it's pretty much used in the same way as the skulls. Just sprinkle some of these little trinkets and stuff all over the place, and it will get you a bit more of a Grimdark vibe. And then we got the bodies themselves. I really, you know, I haven't built a single actual flagellant, but I do love to use them as sort of wizards, Mordheim wizards. That's where they really shine, these bodies. When you want, you know, you don't want a Gandalf. It's not your class A fantasy, I will ruin your whole army sort of wizards. These are the ones you can find down at the pub for a sort of discount price that you actually can afford to bring into a damned city. Like this guy here, I think at least the, well, it's a skeleton arm, but we got some chains keeping the staff to the guy, and we got some, the book here is a flagellant as well, together with a little trinket skull here, and obviously the body itself. But then we got bits from all over the place. And I think this book thing up here as well, that's also from the Flagellants kit. And then we got a wind wizard. The last one was supposed to be an ice wizard. This is a wind wizard. I think the book is from somewhere else, but still the body is really, you know, acting its part here. This is someone who does not really care for his neatness, if that's a word. And you got this flag on the back here, shifting in the wind, and he just strapped it onto his back. I don't know, I just find it's very useful, you know. It's a good basis, and it looks like he's shouting into the wind here. And then probably my favorite of the wizards is the fire wizard. Why have a burning cage on your head? Well, why not? That's just something that you find in the Flagellants box, together with the parchment there and a skull. And this is actually the weapon. It's supposed to be one of the scythes, but I switched the scythe for one of the what do you call it, torches, and obviously a book as well. I think it's a scathing cape actually, but yeah, this is certainly not your class A wizard. Probably not even class B wizard. This is class E wizard or something. 2 pints down at the pub and you got yourself a wizard. But overall, it's a great kit. Last but not least, I got this actually woman, which is supposed to be some sort of wizard for my Grimdark Bretonians, and it's a great example of all of these boxes combined. It's actually based on some sort of Necromunda body from the gang, which I can't remember, but the gang which has these large long robes. It's actually so large that long that I had to shorten the whole body a bit, because otherwise it wouldn't really fit with the regular fantasy sort of miniatures, which was a pain, but that's not what this video is about. It's about using this ghoul arm, for example. You see it sticks out there, it looks really natural. or unnatural, depending on how you see it. And you know, this is a great example of a twisted human arm. It really tells that this is not your sort of regular human. And quite obviously we got a skull. I think it's some sort of demon skull, used as a face mask. Probably can't tell from up front, but from the side you can tell that this is in front of the face rather than the face itself. And it also got a skull down here for good measure. The weapon is quite obviously a flagellant, the skite. It's been reinforced with some regular sewing thread, which is a really neat trick to bring out the sort of roughness of the models. It always gets kind of, I don't know, unordered. It's also been used back here. Sewing thread as hair. This obviously don't come in any of these boxes, but it's just, you know, a great trick for something unordered. This really looks like a hair that has not been tended to in quite a while. Together with some regular, this is just some fabric strapped onto the back. Probably a bit too rough for this scale, but yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be Grimdark. It's supposed to be rough. Because I tend to go back to this definition, but as a Dark Ages Workshop once said in a video, I think it really summarizes it all. Seek out to mirror the hardships of the world onto these models. And I think this really looks like someone who lives in a dangerous world with no healthcare. And as usual, you know, if you ask yourself the question, why would anyone want to do that? You're probably on the right track. In conclusion, it might seem like a big thing to buy a box just to get a few bits, and that is true. I mean, the majority of my bits still come from secondhand buys on sort of eBay, and I think that's the greatest source of conversion bits. But I'm really happy I got these anyway, because as I said, I always tend to go back to these for bits over and over again. And if you feel uncertain about getting any of these, I would say that start out with the Flagellants. It is the most generic, you know, it's humans, just mad humans. You can put it in anywhere. And if you don't want to do conversions, you can always do Grimdark Mordheim Wizards, and that is just pure fun. But with these three in hand, there is always some sort of answer to your Grimdark conversion problem. And pretty much however you apply them, it will get you closer to your goal. So you can't pretty much fail here. So you can relax and just, you know, enjoy your hobby, because that's the important part. Don't forget to enjoy your hobby.